Bro, what is this production?
And the thing that I really appreciate about Tank is he's a dog. That kind of that what he just said. He can put them earmuffs up and go at it. He kind of will set you as well, and whatever he needs to do, he'll do it.
Jake Paul has reacted to the newly released sparring and training footage of Gervonta Tank Davis that recently went viral across social media, and his response has everyone talking. The clip shows Davis looking sharper, faster, and more explosive than ever as he prepares for his next fight, leaving fans buzzing about whether Tank is entering the peak of his career. Hey, get over there. Davis made his name dominating the lighter divisions, having last fought around 133 to 135 pounds and never officially weighing above 140 pounds in professional bouts. Meanwhile, Paul is a natural cruiserweight, typically, fighting near the 200-pound mark, and he recently weighed in at that range for his latest contests. This isn't just a minor weight gap, it spans several divisions. When the difference is that wide more factors come into play, the heavier fighter usually has advantages in durability punching, power, the ability to absorb shots, and overall leverage. It becomes less about skill alone and more about who can handle punishment while staying effective.
Something else that's unfortunate is the idea that Jake Paul might actually fight Gervonta Tank Davis. This can't be real. When it came up a couple of months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to cover this because there's no way they're really going to do it. Because it makes no sense. Why would you do that for him? Outside of it, like, okay, you can look at it like an exhibition, which it will be, and we'll take a look at some of the rule set for it. But Gervonta Davis is one of, if not the best, biggest names at 135 pounds, and is an active in his prime fighter. I don't want to hear the similar to Floyd and Logan thing, because at that point, Floyd was retired. Floyd had done all he needed to do in the sport. Tank is still in his prime, still has multiple high-level opponents that he needs to fight. And you can say, oh, you know, the Jake would be a one-off. Side quest. That's fine, but that just tells me that Tank doesn't care about being a high-level champion in the sport anymore.
Carmel Moughton recently reflected on a sparring session he had with Davis.
They can actually try and knock each other out because it's gonna be a glorified sparring match. I'm not watching. I don't give a fuck.
Jake's gonna have a hard time hitting him.
Shit.
You know?
Gervonta's so fast and skilled.
Gervonta's gonna eat his
I thought
moves.
Jake was gonna fight Anthony Joshua. That seemed
No, that was actually getting.
That
sounded more
craziest idea I've ever heard. Jake Paul trying to fight Anthony Joshua is,
not a sanctioned professional bout. This means the fight will not count towards either fighter's professional records.
Still being finalized.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like
so
that.
what is so behind the scenes? You think there are things like, hey, we don't punch each other in the jaw.
Yep. Or don't go. We can punch in the face, but don't go for broke. Don't knock me out.
Really?
Exhibition.
That's
so
not
they
very
can get away with it. No. Until I find the rule sets, but when I hear exhibition, I'm like, okay.
Jake's bodied up, man.
He's big.
Probably has 100 pounds on Gervonta.
Maybe. I'd say Gervonta probably walks at 150.
So small.
So small. I mean, he's really small. Bring up Gervonta Davis next to Floyd Mayweather, because I've seen Floyd in person. He's tiny. You've seen Floyd in person.
I worked with Gervonta.
Tiny.
Well, Floyd likely has shoes on there.
Oh, dude, he's so small.
Tiny guys.
Yeah. He's so small. Great fight.
Chael Sonnen recently criticized Jake Paul's decision to shift his focus from Anthony Joshua to a fight with Gervonta Davis, calling it a disappointing step down from what was previously promised. Sonnen argued that unlike Paul, Tank isn't naturally gifted at self-promotion or generating hype. Davis prefers to let his fists do the talking inside the ring, but lacks the showmanship that Paul has mastered, while Sonnen acknowledged Davis's world-class skill and credibility. He suggested that without Paul's promotional machinery, the event wouldn't generate the same buzz-in. His view the fight's appeal depends more on Paul's marketing power than the actual sporting contest.
It is the exact opposite of Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul for June. So the fight that was being dangled and rumored in front of us, the exact opposite is happening. The opposite of fighting Anthony Joshua is not fighting nobody. The opposite of fighting Anthony Joshua is fighting Tank Davis. So there's one big glaring issue for me. It's just your partner being Tank Davis. Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. It could be a title fight, a contender fight, a main event fight. He could be the favorite, he could be the underdog. Tank doesn't know how to bring that information to you guys in a way that is compelling. And Tank is already blinking in this situation. You have one guy who is argued amongst, pound for pound, current greats in boxing. You have another guy that has suggested he should not even be allowed to box, that he should have to call it something different. He should not be licensed. He should not be ranked in the top 14. He should never be selected for a world title. Okay. Now, Tank has one job, which is to let anybody know who's listening that it doesn't make any difference. Boxing is a real sport.
Over time, Davis's perception of Jake Paul has clearly evolved. Initially, he dismissed Paul as a loud, attention-seeking entertainer, publicly mocking his claims and treating him as a sideshow within boxing. However, as Paul began training seriously and earning legitimacy through consistent effort, Davis's stance softened. He has since recognized Paul's discipline, mental toughness, and dedication in the gym. Though he still doesn't consider Paul a top-tier boxer, Davis has become more open to the idea of sharing the ring with him, particularly due to Paul's growing influence and commercial reach.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown. He's a clown. I know that Jake can't fight. He can't fight. So
would you look at it as a joke if someone, if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul, would you be like,
yeah, I laugh at him. You want me to fight him? At first, I didn't like how Jake Paul was coming because of how he was making it look. But now that I see that, I feel as though he's still a clown because that's his personality. I'm starting to respect it because he's not doing it like for the hype. He was really like trying to be a boxer. I think that he's decent.
Yeah.
Like he's good. I mean, he's not good, but he's going that way.
Is he better than you thought he'd be?
Yeah. Gotta be mentally tough to be in the box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So this show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
Following Jake Paul's impressive win over Julio Cesar, Chavez Jr. his respect within the boxing community has grown considerably. The Anaheim event broke the venue's gate revenue record, surpassing those of elite level fights and signaling major commercial strength. Prominent figures like Oscar de la Hoya now view Paul as a legitimate competitor who could eventually challenge for world titles. Even Manny Pacquiao admitted that despite ongoing skepticism, Paul's dedication is undeniable. Analysts also praised his technical growth, particularly his ability to control distance and remain composed under pressure.
Canelo Alvarez fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We promoted that fight many years ago. Didn't knock him out, couldn't hurt him. So imagine if Jake Paul can hurt or even wobble Chavez Jr. It's something that Canelo didn't do or couldn't do. So Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., it's a real fight. Yeah. Look, people keep talking about Jake Paul, well, he's not a real fighter, this and that. Well, he's fighting a real fighter now in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It's going to be a good test for both guys. Obviously, Jake Paul, he's a masterclass promoter in what he does. He's been doing some great things. I mean, Mike Tyson, 60 million people. Fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who, when he trains, when he gets in shape, when he's focused, he will be dangerous for anybody. Look, Canelo Alvarez fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We promoted that fight many years ago. Didn't knock him out, couldn't hurt him. So imagine if Jake Paul can hurt or even wobble Chavez Jr. It's something that Canelo didn't do or couldn't do. So there's a lot of stories to come out from this. A lot of great stories for Jake Paul. So I just feel honored and proud that we can team up with MVP Promotions, with Jake Paul, and we can make Zurdo Ramirez with Torticos the mandatory. That's going to be a bloodbath in itself. So we're excited.
Jake Paul has officially declared that his next chapter in boxing is just beginning, and this time he's targeting real ranked opponents. After defeating Andre August, Paul announced that he's moving away from crossover or MMA-based fights to face legitimate professional boxers. In a CNN interview, he doubled down on that commitment, stating that he wants to fight anyone who poses a real challenge. Paul insists he's done chasing spectacles and now aims to build a true boxing legacy by taking on credible opponents and proving he belongs among the sport's elite.
So everybody's been calling you out, Daniel Dubois, Ryan Garcia, all these people. Who's the most enticing to you?
Like, I want to fight them all, to be honest. I just need the time. So I probably will literally fight all of them. So they're all enticing to me.
So everybody's been calling you out, Daniel Dubois, Ryan Garcia, all of them? Who's the most enticing? Paul responded, I want to fight them all, to be honest. I just need the time, and I probably will eventually fight each of them. However, the massive weight gap between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis became impossible to ignore. Georgia's athletic commission ultimately declined to approve the matchup due to safety concerns. As a result, Paul's team withdrew their application for permits in Georgia and decided to relocate the event to Miami. The move highlights how complex big exhibition bouts can be, with regulators prioritizing fairness and safety over money. For Davis, the rejection underscored about the matchup, while for Paul, the Miami shift fits perfectly with his flair for headline making, drama reshaping both logistics and fan expectations.
There's no way in hell this fight was ever gonna happen. And the fact that y'all believed it, I don't know, you're stupid. So Rick Thompson, chairman of the Georgia Athletic Commission, told USA Today Sports that Paul's promotion company withdrew its request, permits, and a rule waiver, citing the 65-pound weight difference between the fighters. The Rick Thompson guy straight up said they've been promoting something they should not have been. Come on, guys, like, use your brains. Y'all boxing fans, you understand this. This fight was never gonna happen. This is the article from USA Today. It says the status of the proposed fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis under scrutiny because of the weight discrepancy between the two fighters. Rick Thompson is coming out and saying this stuff because he said he believes it's in the public's best interest to know that they've been promoting something they should not have been. Communications director for the Office of the Secretary of State told USA Today Sports the event will not be happening. But funny enough, tickets are still available. You can still purchase them online. And the fight is still listed on the State Farm Arena.